Now, pardon me if I seem a little bit distracted through a portion of tonight, but there's a bit of a late breaking story. We were talking about, last night it came up, Brian Tamaki, talking about, trying to get drag story time stuff cancelled from all over the world. There's been, and when I say late breaking, I think it only came out in the news at 8 p.m. tonight. What time did it come out at? Yeah, 7:54 p.m. And that is, I'll give you more details shortly, and that is that some of the drag community are taking Brian Tamaki to court for defamation.
Good.
And
nice.
because of that, I've been texting a few people and messaging a few people saying, hey, you want to come on? Hey, you want to come on? Including some of the named people. And I think they're in transit at the moment. I think the company in question is based in Palmerston North, and I think they might be driving to Auckland right now or flying, one of the two. But what may happen tonight, speaking of a change, Chewy, is like a holiday. We might just break out of everything and take a kind of live and unprepared conversation as we go through the night. That may happen. It may not, though. But even if it doesn't, we'll still talk to you about the details as to what's being said. So yeah, that's something that I'm going to be watching, keeping an eye on. I've got my Messenger messages over there. I've got my Instagram messages over there. I've got my emails over there. And so I'll just be doing this for the next hour and a quarter to see if we hear back from anyone. And look, the chances are we may hear back from people and they might go, oh, I'm not going to do it off 2 minutes notice. Fair. Yeah. We'll try maybe for tomorrow night as well.
It's an interesting one though, because, defamation cases have a pretty high bar to clear.
Yeah.
I hope they get it, because I mean, to have someone with that sort of movement that can weaponize that and just basically do fucking terrorism by social media threat and get events shut down and that sort of thing. Look, if anything deserves it, it's what Brian Tamaki's doing. And I think when he's taking basically the position that drag kings and queens are wanting to prey on children and stuff like that, have at it. Definitely defamation. Go for it.
Can I ask you a question then?
Sure.
I'm not trying to both sides the issue, that's what I'm about. But the words you just used about pressure and getting things cancelled, we were pretty happy to see pressure and getting things cancelled for Julian Batchelor.
Yep.
Now, I'm actually comfortable with going, I'm inconsistent and my inconsistency is falling on the side of right. Do you know what I mean? But is there a way to talk this through and go, how people go, I disagree with what you're saying, but I'll defend your right to say it. But if we're in a situation where we are doing exactly the same thing as we're criticizing them doing, what do we do? How do we approach that? Like I said, I'm okay. I'll take the label of hypocrite. And the reason I'll take the label of hypocrite is because I feel like I'm falling on the side of right. I'm on the right side of history for the things I'm fighting for. You're on the wrong side of history. So I feel like there can be some inconsistencies there. We can put our hand up and go, yes, I know, it might appear inconsistent, but the thing that is consistent is fighting for right. That's the consistency. And sometimes within that consistency, you activate differently. You know what I mean? What do you think?
I think that, like, if we're going to make a comparison with Julian Batchelor's clown show fucking road trip, the difference is people turned up to his events to protest. They didn't turn up to threaten. Now, if you look at Tamaki's Twitter threats, he was like, well, you have to shut down this event or I'll send my guys round to shut it down. That to me is a threat. It might not be at a level where it's actionable by the police, but that is akin to saying, I'm going to send the boys round to sort you out.
I'm going to look at this, and look, I love you, Chewy, but I also love being accurate. I don't want to put out something that's not accurate. We won't go into the theme yet, but let's just talk about this. So this is him having a go. We'll go through some of those later on. We've closed down that's the closing of it down, sunk to a new low. This is who we're trying to shut down, Upper Hutt City Library. This is a biological lady from Australia King. This individual no place for me and shame on the episode of grabber. The mayor and the councillors for even considering this individual should be in front of toddlers reading books. Yeah, so there's nothing there in that. But look, I'm just saying, we'll take what you just said as a grain of salt. Maybe you're saying the vibe of that is there without the literal thing.
I'm saying the words are
No?
there.
Okay.
I'm just looking.
Well, let's bookshelf that, because we are going to talk about some other things tonight. And whilst we're playing some video and stuff, we'll see if we can find something that's a bit more of a direct action. No, I'm not challenging you or saying it's wrong. You know me. I'm a pedant for wanting to be accurate.
Yep.
Yeah,
that's fine.
That's all.
There's nothing wrong with it. But yeah, I think, Destiny have shown that they're willing to break the law already.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, pedant Pat coming for a second. Members of Destiny are. You're talking about the Rainbow Crossings.
I'm talking about the Rainbow Crossings.
Members of Destiny did that.
Yes.
So that means Destiny.
Brian Tamaki's son-in-law did that.
I mean, this is the thing. One of the things I'm going to say tonight.
Saying that there's distance between. Oh, those are the actions of an individual. Those are the actions of a family member. And when you look at what they did to their other Rainbow Crossing, that was done by members of Destiny Church after, that was organised. It's not the spontaneous actions of an individual. This is a movement.
I hear you. I guess I'm thinking. I was thinking about this today. I was thinking about how can Family First lose their charitable status but not Destiny Church, and the answer is anytime Brian goes political, he always does it under Brian Tamaki. It's never done under Destiny Church. So I'm assuming he's managed to figure out a path.
Fig leaf.
Look, dude, I'm not. You don't shoot the messenger. Don't shoot the messenger.
I'm not arguing with you. I'm arguing with Tamaki saying, "Oh, I've got my hat on where I'm Tamaki. I'm not Destiny. Now I've got my Destiny hat on."
But this is the thing. We agree.
Is Destiny and Destiny is him.
Yeah. We agree.
So it's a fig leaf.
We agree, but I guess what I'm saying is in the eyes of accurate law, like in the eyes of what's happening, did Destiny Church do those pedestrian crossings, or did it someone who went to Destiny Church? That's all.
And that's why I say with some of the things that they have directed at the library staff and at the council staff about this event. They know what they're saying is not actionable by the police. It doesn't cross that threshold by being a threat to violence. But it is right up to the fucking line that they know is there. They know it's enough of a threat to get the event cancelled, which is what they want. And then they go, cool, we've claimed another scalp. Literally. They have their plan.
Yeah, they literally say that
and they know that the police aren't going to come knocking. So if that gives the drag kings and queens a chance to do a defamation thing, absolutely.
I agree with you as well, right? And people in the chat are saying Pat's trying to protect us from defamation. No, it's not, because defamation is really hard. Because if you have it on, basically for defamation in New Zealand, you need to be able to prove that the person lied about you and they knew it was a lie. So what Chewy just said there about Destiny Church, that's his honest held belief. There's no problems with that. I'm a pedant when it comes to these sorts of things. So when you go with honest held belief, then that's fine. The thing that I am interested though about this is I've wondered why more people haven't done this, haven't tested this thing for defamation or libel, because, even if we look to America, you call a person on the left a groomer, that's defamation. That implies someone, is actively trying to bring on board minors to be sexually explicit with them. That's complete defamation. So I am really interested in this case to see what they can. Look, to be honest, I haven't even read the full article yet. It was that much that we were getting ready for this, but I am interested because this could also set a precedence that, especially those on the alt-right who like to basically say those on the left are groomers and pedos and all that kind of stuff. This could be a precedence being set in the courts should it go somewhere that others could follow. Although I do understand that this kind of litigation is exponentially expensive. So it's going to be fascinating, eh? It's going to be fascinating once we find out what it is, Chewy, which we haven't yet. We will later in the show.
So I found the quote.
Yeah.
If the mayor and his councillors do not shut down this event, I have instructed our Destiny Church members and Man Up men to shut it down.
Yeah, right. Fair.
So that's
Fair.
right up to the line, isn't it?
Because
I haven't said they're going to kick
Yeah.
in some windows and bust some heads.
How are these men going to shut it down? These big men, these big scary men from South Auckland, perhaps, other parts of the country, going to come and shut this down. Yeah. No, fair. Fair. See, this is almost like journalism, where we check our sources.
And look, you know, we're not arguing. We both agree on this. But I think that is an important point to discuss when we're all down for shutting down Julian Batchelor.
Yep.
And they're using some of the tactics as well of shutting down the event, cancelling the event. Of course, they're against cancel culture, but they definitely want to use it in this case. And how you do it is really important.
Yep.
We didn't call in bomb threats to Julian's venues. We reached out to venue, people doing the venue bookings and basically said, are you aware that this guy is doing this? That this is the content of his meetings? Are you aware that there is going to be a counter protest outside? And those counter protests were loud. They were music. They were people dancing. That sort of thing. It wasn't threats of abuse. It wasn't calling someone a pedophile. It wasn't saying they were going to abuse children. And it wasn't putting an image up and basically letting people draw a line and go, this is what this performer looks like. And this is what they're going to do in the library. You know? So you got to be factual. You can't make violent threats. That's it.
It would be strange right now not to continue this conversation. So let's just keep going, shall we? So as we showed you a post earlier on, that's not the one, Brian Tamaki's page about, they've been going around the country, and I think it was Napier, wasn't it, where they got a story, a drag queen story time finished. And it was going to happen again at Upper Hutt, and they got another scalp. They were quite proud to get another scalp. Where is it? There we go. Oh, that's not the one. They got another scalp. It's down
the one
further.
you're actually on there. Go back up. Yeah.
No, Willie McIntosh cancelled another head on our platter. So you're exactly right about the verbiage and stuff. And so this came out, I think, yesterday. And this is a post from Brian Tamaki. Here come the lies that come with the victories. There has never been. Now this is the thing as well. You know how I called you on saying, I don't know if we can say that that's destiny. It's the same to Brian Tamaki. Mm-hmm. You can't say that no one from Destiny Church has done this. He says there has never, ever been any such rape or death threats from Destiny Church. Now, he could be playing games there from people within Destiny Church or Destiny Church. He can't say that hasn't happened from anyone within Destiny Church because he doesn't know that. And then he goes on to say, lie your mainstream media mates to your mainstream media mates, or like your mainstream media mates, but people can now see through these sorts of low life responses. And this was a post that Emily Wrights put up, and it says this: as many of you know, I've been on the receiving end of rape and death threats from Destiny Church in the past. It was terrifying. I wrote about it here, and then this is a JPEG. I can't click on the link there. For the last few weeks, the lovely performer Willie McIntosh has had the most violently horrific threats and abuse sent their way thanks to Destiny Church and the shock jocks Sean Plain Cunt strikes again.
That's a good one.
Like that one? I would love to turn this awful thing around and show Willie and his whānau and community that he's supported. So if you can give a few dollars and share or leave a message of support for them, that would be amazing. And then there's a link to I'm not sure what this is, like a give a little type page. So that was what happened then. And then today, this is the news today. Brian Tamaki put this post up, right? And you can see here, this is Nicola Willis at Pride Show. Here's Nicola Willis at the front of Pride Parade. And there's Willie McIntosh on Instagram. And Brian Tamaki's people have circled that this performer is being followed by Nicola Willis, right? That's the crime committed by Nicola Willis. New Zealand finances in good hands, or rainbow hands. Sounds kind of cool, actually. Rainbow hands. If you had rainbow hands, I'd go, when you move them, I reckon. Can you believe New Zealand's Minister of Finance, Nicola Willis, is a follower of Willis McIntosh? I believe in people's freedom of choice. I love that. It's so good. Because it's like, adults are free to do what they want, but can you believe they did this? You know what? You can't have it both ways, Brian. But is this appropriate that the Minister of Finance is following this drag king? This is an adult entertainer who attempts to entertain our kids. Now, just quietly, and off the record, I can't say off the record, can I? And an honest held question, are we going to find out at some stage that Brian Tamaki was following someone committing crimes against children? Is that going to come out in the wash? Because if Brian Tamaki was following on social media someone who committed crimes against children, how can we trust our finances with someone who followed someone who committed crimes against children? You see, it's easy to do that. Like, it's really easy to do that by association. I bet you there's photos of Brian Tamaki online that are unflattering. You could make a billboard and it's going like, can you believe that this person runs a church, and take it completely out of context? Of course you could do that if you wanted to.
I mean, now, the whole guilt by association thing is really interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, if someone in your organization did a horrible thing, would you then say that the organization as a whole does a horrible thing?
Well, that's the exact question we were just having, is does Destiny Church do this, or does members of Destiny Church do this? So now what I just said, people will know what reference that is to. We have no idea whether it's that way or not, or this person has done those crimes or not. But if they end up having done crimes, and if it ends up that Brian was following them on social medias, then how much worse will it be for a pastor to be following a child sex offender on the internet? Oh, clutch my pearls. The message goes on. We know the young Nats are also riddled with the trans rainbow agenda. New Zealand has been spending multi-millions of taxpayers and ratepayers' money on rainbow washing. Here's a few examples. 2019, an extra $3 million for transgender sex change surgeries. 2021, $4 million funding for the Rainbow Mental Health. 2022, an extra $2 million for rainbow and intersex health services. 2023, $2.25 million fundraising for Rainbow Games. And that's just the tip of the rainbow money iceberg. Again, that sounds like a cocktail. I'll have a rainbow money iceberg, please. Hold the iceberg on the rocks.
Can I also just shock our listeners?
Yeah.
As well, and say after almost a good solid 8-9 months dunking on Nicola Willis,
yep,
that I'm going to say, well done, Nicola Willis.
We haven't even got there yet when we get to what she's actually done, but yes.
Oh, yeah. Like, brace yourself for this. I'm just prefacing it.
Yep.
She handled it perfectly.
Yep. And the last part of his message, can we trust this new finance minister to rein in the rainbow spending? Now, we've been incredibly critical of lots of things to do with Nicola Willis. We're probably going to touch on the theories again tonight. But as we always say, if it's worth giving credit to, it's worth giving credit to. Her response directly to Brian: no need to be jealous, Brian. I'll follow you on Instagram too, if you'll give lipstick and boas a go.
It's so good.
Now, this is also what it means to be ratioed. Brian Tamaki's had 53 comments and 54 retweets. That comment from Nicola, 224 comments and 91 retweets. That is the definition of being ratioed. Now, let's go into it. Now, obviously, many of them are Brian's flock and flock adjacent, but plenty of support in there. Not a good reply, Nicola, yada, yada. Thank you, Nicola, yada, yada. This just not going to age well. Shame on you. And I'm assuming that's going to Brian. I think it's to Brian or to Nicola. I can't actually tell the difference.
No, I think that's to Nicola.
Okay. You tell him this is a really bad take for a politician. Your response is truly shocking. Credit where credit is due. AJ. G'day, AJ, if you're out there at the moment, follows our stuff. So there you go. So there's a mix of it in there. Geez, read the room. You know, It goes, brilliant reply. Oh, Maria's in the world. Maria follows some of our stuff as well. Hello, family. We're bringing all these people together that are out there on the internet doing fun stuff.